This is just a task that needs to be done whether people show up to watch it or not. Just for anybody that does pop in, this is what we're doing. Trailer load of oak. And we're putting it right here. Let's get it. Also, where's my coffee at? Because I did have that and I do need that. The rooster says good morning. Nate back in the house. What's up, brother? This is all personal burn oak, mostly red, a little bit of white. Doesn't have to be beautiful, but most of this stuff is nice. I don't particularly cut it to 20 inches, but I do prefer some extra length on mine because my wood stove upstairs will run a 24 or 25 inch log. Yo, that rooster is about to catch these hands. Chill out, dude. He's loud even when I'm not in the back, but when I'm back here, he ain't having it. What's up, Jack? Good morning, buddy. My personal wood is whatever is left over from cutoffs and odd sizes. I totally hear that, man. Nate, do you have a boiler? If I had a boiler, that's what I would do. But I run multiple wood stoves, and we heat entirely with wood. And so getting like an optimal burn is ideal for me. Jack, I don't know that I've ever really spoken to you a whole lot, but I saw you pop up in the chat yesterday for Dan's Friday Night Live. You won the, what was it, the tumbler or the axe or something? Thought that was cool. Where are you from, Jack? Water stove in the basement. Yeah, that's perfect. So you really can't just kind of feed it. Nate, if it's piped into the basement like that, do you feed it green wood like an outdoor boiler or water stove? Or do you try to season it up since it's a inside structure? Round two. That's right, buddy. I got to do a fair amount of rooster, chill. I got to do a fair amount of walking just because I got a swing set right here and I can't back my trailer up to it. I could probably back y'all out a little bit, but not sure what you'd see. See if I can get this squared away here. Yeah, we'll just bring it in here, man. You guys don't care about this trailer. Y'all can see my crooked stacks. Season as much as possible. Just try to run season if I can, but green if I have to. I got it. Yeah, these are, you know, Nate, I get so much wood that if I don't just start splitting it, even for myself, it'll sit there with the how my property is, the shade and everything. It will sit there and mold in log form. You know, I don't have any big open fields that I can just like skid some logs on. This might be an example. was already starting to do it. You can see the, whatever you want to call that, mold or effervescence, fungal growth. It's nothing though. I mean, this is a 100% hardwood, no punk. So that will burn right off as it dries. That'll turn into nothing. I ain't worried about that. I wouldn't be worried about it if it didn't turn into nothing. I usually have a trailer back here filled with wood, and we just kind of stack it as we get time. Sometimes it'll take me 2-3 days to stack. Sometimes my wife pops out here and we'll stack this whole trailer in 10-15 minutes. And if she's watching this inside, yes, dear, that is a Brit Everhart 10 or 15 minutes, which means 25 to 30 minutes. I'm always forever asking my wife, hey, can you help me for 15 minutes? 40 minutes later, she's like, yo, what happened to 15 minutes? So the wood yard can be a time suck, man. You just get out there, you're doing something, you're in the flow, and then something goes wrong. You got to stop the flow to fix the thing. Before you know it, you never even got the task done. I built this wood shed a few years back. It's been a great little wood shed, and it was basically 100% free, minus the roofing and the screws to put it together. Good buddy of mine that you might have seen in some videos past has a sawmill, and he hooked me up with all the wood. I told him what I was looking to do, and we both ended up having a week off. We worked together. We had a week off that like kind of overlapped, so we went out there and just milled bunch of pine. It's not a big shed. It'll hold just shy of 3 cord, probably 2.5 really. I might could stack it up, jam it in here. But it's like 8 feet wide, maybe a little wider, and can't even remember how deep I made it. But I know what you're thinking. Anything not to bend over. But the head height is where I end up getting a fair amount of wood in here. As it tilts forward, get a lot more. Like right here where I'm standing, this row will be 8 feet by 8 feet probably. No, shit, that ain't 8 feet. 6 feet? I don't know. No. Oh, so it goes up to there, as high as I can reach. Yeah, maybe close to 8 feet, 7 feet. I ain't got no 3-foot arms. Some of this is not prettiest, but it will burn great. Nate says he uses the leftovers. I totally get that. For a long time, that's what I did. But now, like I said, I'm to the point where I'll get a load and I won't hardly have room for it. So I'll put it right by my splitter, process it into one of these trailers, and just pull it into the backyard just to get it away from the splitter and out of the wood yard so I can get back to business. I do that because I don't like to say no to wood. And a lot of times it's feast or famine, you know. I'll start getting down to 2 or 3 face cords or even out of wood, and I'm sending messages, can't get a single stick of wood, and then 2 weeks later I got a tractor trailer load worth of wood. What is everybody's plans today? Other than watching me stack wood. It's the weekend. I hope not everybody's at work. Yeah, I catch as many lives as I can. Watch as many videos again. I usually comment a lot. Farm in the Southwest. Oh, in Southwest Wisconsin. I was about to say where at in the Southwest. I immediately started thinking like New Mexico, Arizona. Usually listening while milking and doing chores. That's really cool, Jack. I try to do the same thing. Nate says he's got the same issue. Try to do is cutting and splitting in the shade, but the logs sit in the front yard with plenty of sun and wind. That's perfect. Floreal. Bonjour. It's got to be French. Welcome. I don't know what any of that says, but I appreciate you being here. And if I'm saying that right, Floreal. That's a nice name. I like that. Nate says noodling and splitting in a bit. Yeah, buddy. My son has jiu-jitsu at 10, so this is going to be short-lived. It's just one of those things where it's got to get done. And, you know, I am a firm believer in what Russ says. A little bit every day goes a long way. I say that in my head quite often. You know, there's only one way to eat an elephant, a little bit at a time. That's how I've always said it. So that's what I do. But if you're not working today, what are your plans? Nate said he's about to split and noodle. Nate is also here in North Carolina, so get it before it gets too hot. What's up, Craig? Got a pine delivery. Later, he needs to load. Well, Craig is leaving, but if he weren't leaving, I would have some questions about this pine delivery. How much is it? What are you selling it for? Obviously, you got to know what type of pine, you know what I mean? And here's the thing. Craig is the kind of guy that I can ask that question to. 99.9% of the woodhounds, if I asked them what kind of pine, they'd laugh at me. You ask Craig what kind of pine, he'll tell you exactly what kind of pine. We have that in common. I think they do a lot of white pine up there. But thanks for stopping in, Craig. Nate, what is a little south of us? I don't know why I thought you were... I might just be making that up. I thought you were east of us. Actually, if you would have made me guess exactly, I would have thought northeast, and I'm not sure why. I was thinking like Reedsville or something. Sometimes I just make stuff up in my head and remember it that way. These cinder blocks that I'm stepping on to get over to the woodshed here, I had to put here because I run boards out here and stack another row in front of the woodshed. That's where I get my third board because I can go up 8 or 9 feet right there. All right. How much can your shed talking about, man? As it sits right now, a perfect square from corner to corner to corner to corner, it'll hold about 2.66 cords, 2 and 2/3 cord. But I do 3 cord out here, and the way I do that is I take these cedar boards that I've milled here, and I just pop them right up onto this these cinder blocks, and I leave myself like a doorway, and I do another stack out here. And I had another cinder block here with some more wood, and whenever I get it full, I'll put that back, and then this whole entire front will be filled with another 8 foot by probably, well, on the header it goes up a little higher, so probably close to 8.5, 9 feet. No, 8 feet, I'd say that's 8 feet. So 8 by 8, and that's where we get our third cord, or a little over third cord. But just the shed itself stopping at right here. And the reason I do that is because I've got, 24 inches of overhang. So I can stack another row out front here and it doesn't get a lick of water, especially the way I'm right here on the edge of the tree line. Southeast-ish. Salisbury and Statesville. I was way off. I don't know why I thought you were the other way. So you are Salisbury. Statesville is, yeah, you're southwest of us. Take it easy, Jack. Thanks for being here. What's up, Brian? Good morning, brother. We're just here for a short time, stacking up a little wood here and there before a jiu-jitsu tournament that my son has. Saturday morning jiu-jitsu is like a free-for-all. So he does classes throughout the week that are structured. And then on Saturday, you just go in there and there's a bunch of 5-year-olds snapping necks in there. It's kind of chaos. But it gets our weekend going, gets them out there to burn some energy, which is what these boys need. My daughter's going to start doing it soon. Nick, I do not have my own sawmill. I have one better than that. I have a friend with a sawmill. Get the wood off of it when I need it. Directions aren't directioning this morning. Hey man, I get it, dude. I can be fully awake with 2 coffees in and still get directions wrong. I remember landmarks. Like I can go anywhere. I've got like a good sense of direction, but when it comes to like geographical, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I can turn left by this Wendy's because I turned right coming in. I can always get home, but yeah, if you ask me to just point to a map and be like, hey, show me Indonesia on a map, I would be like, what are you talking about? Can't even see that from my house. Good old North Carolina public school education. I shouldn't blame the state. It's probably my fault for cheating my way through high school. So Nick, I don't know that I've seen your name pop up before, so I'll just tell you because you asked, but I don't have a sawmill. I know I jokingly said that a minute ago, but in a couple of my videos, my buddy who does have 2 sawmills, we've done some milling, and I think the last milling video we did was black walnut, just some mantle pieces that I had. I pulled a black walnut down in the woods, and just didn't want to waste it. I'll burn black walnut for firewood all day long, but I try to keep like the butt log for milling, if it'll make a nice end table. I've got a little cabin. I don't think you guys can see it in the spring and summer, but in the fall I could probably pan the camera over there. It's out in the woods. I keep stuff stickered out there, but it's neat. Like there's a bunch of cedar out there and pine. I would prefer to just build with pine, but I like cedar for longevity. Like these boards right here, I could have grabbed 2 pine boards, but I just grabbed some cedar because they're going to be out in the elements. And this is just rough cut. This is stuff that most people would just burn or throw away. I keep a lot of it because I'll use rough cut on. In fact, let me just show you here. You can see how it's rough cut lots and stuff. If I flipped it over, you'd probably even still see some of the bark. But I use it all over the place. So my trailer right here, these are rough cut throwaways that most would just burn or throw away. You can see this was the edge of the log. And I screwed those on there probably 2.5 years ago. and they're fine. They'll last another 1 to 2 years, and then I'll pop them up there and fix that. One trip using a GPS and I can find my way back. Yep. Here's the thing, Nate. This is funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking about this when we were talking about directions. One trip with a GPS and I can find my way back home from the trip. But you let, a week or two go by and tell me to go again, I can't find it. I'm back on the GPS. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I can always find my way home, but it takes me, I bet you it takes me 3 or 4 trips using a GPS to be like, okay, I can get there without a GPS. I mean, if we're talking about 45 minutes to an hour trip, I'm just making a few turns. One town over, I can probably do that no problem. The tough part about stacking in this shed is that my house, which is not very far up this hill here behind me, behind the camera, we heat with wood, and every night my son and I, it's our chore to fill the indoor rack, which is like a day's worth. And then I'd say every 4 days, our chore is to fill the outdoor rack, which is closer to a week's worth. And we normally do that by taking an IBC tote with the tractor and just driving it right up to our back patio and unloading out of that. So this is actually more of a laborious version because I have to stack it, touch it then, and then I have to down stack it back into a tote. I'll put it in a tote to then haul it up to where that green little dump trailer is, so I can basically walk it to, let's see if I can find this here without getting blurry. Right here where my finger's coming in, bang, before it gets blurry, is our outside stack. And it's like nowhere near a face cord, maybe half a face cord. I think it's like a 4x4. I didn't measure it, I just made it. And then the inside stack is whatever the day's worth. Nabil, hope I didn't butcher that. Hello, thank you for being here. Nate said he used to do hot shot driving. What's up, Rob? Almost missed Rob. Used to do hot shot driving, would do Southern Georgia without GPS. Hey, so Nate, if you're still in here, do a backflip. All right, man, stick around. You get 911 on speed dial. Tell me when you're ready, and I'll tell you when I'm ready. I'm just gonna go right off. I'll put my feet right here, and I'll just flip and land, through the ground. Nate, can you explain to me and anybody else that cares what hot shot driving is? Because I have heard the term. I know you're doing some sort of hauling, loading, whatever, and I guess it's all right. The backflip right here, okay? Yeah, the world's not ready for it. Yeah, explain to us what the hot shot driving is. Freelance hauling. Aren't there different laws for hot shot driving, like load, weight, and everything? Or am I making that up? I mean, I'm sure you're still governed by the old DOT or whatever it is that governs you guys. I'm just curious about it. Why wouldn't everybody just hot shot drive? Who wants to work for somebody else? Know what I mean? I know it's not that simple. Gotta buy the truck. Gotta have the clientele. Nate, do you have any plans to go to any shows, Bunyan, or any of the like? Can't stay too long. Jason's got to get after it. Nabil didn't say anything about it. Probably still impressed. Just getting over the freelance hauling. Rob, you getting rain over there, huh? Dude, so over it. It rained so long for weeks. I mean, you know, Jason over at Yadkin Valley Outdoors put up a weather report every day, and let me tell you, just in case you can't get over to his channel and watch it, the weather report was literally 2 inches of rain every day. He sat on his porch and videotaped the great flood of 2025 coming through Yadkin Valley about every day, sometimes twice a day. He'd put a video up at 10 a.m. where the creek got so high it was flooding over the sides. And then he'd go to work and it'd be 105 degrees. Everything would be dry. He'd come home and video another 2 inches of rain that evening. I mean, it's just been brutal. We've been absolutely pounded by rain. Nate says it uses the same laws as regular trucking. Then there's outlaw drivers that run whatever they want. Listen, Nate, you don't have to incriminate yourself, but something tells me you might have been an outlaw driver, okay? Blink twice if you skipped the way station when you shouldn't have, okay? I don't even know what I'm talking about. You can tell by the ridiculousness that's coming out of my mouth here, but safety first is what I meant to say, guys. Nate had plans for Bunyan at the moment that may not happen. Did make it to Ohio. What's going on at the moment? Nate, if you can, I mean, obviously if it's family stuff, but I'm just curious if there's a way, if there's a will, there's a way. We'd love to have you there. Jason's an outlaw driver. Yep, I said it. Listen, dude, I can hear the sirens now, Jason. Somebody come help me get this man out of shackles by lunchtime. What do you think Jason's bond's gonna be? He looks like a real straight shooter. I'm sure they're not gonna put it too high. Don't worry, Jason. We'll be live whenever you get out. You have a great day, Brian. Thank you for dropping in, man. What's a way station? Listen, I can tell you what it is. I've avoided way stations my whole life, dude. Try being a fat kid around a scale anywhere in life. How about you wait ease? All right, I'm getting out of hand here. Let me calm down. Coming in from the other side, man, just to switch it up on y'all. I keep stomping this grass down. I won't have to weed eat this area. Rob, you do have a driveway full of logs, buddy. That was nice to see. I know you're excited about it. Jason said they know him by name. They just walk up to his door with a peppermint and be like, how are you doing today, Jason? If it don't look right, haul it at night. I've said that my whole life, man. I don't even haul stuff. Also, don't really weld stuff, and I've also used the old welder's terms of a grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. Some things just are catchy. Rob's pure sugar. Speaking of pure sugar, man, I hope my kids are not inside just like lighting the house on fire right now. There's a 50-50 chance we have to get a builder in here to recuperate the loss of whatever damage they do while I'm out here. My wife's probably, she's in there holding it down, hopefully. Boy, she gets in the shower for 20 minutes. There's no telling. We might burn the kitchen down. Hell, half the pro welders I work with use that saying. Rob, man, so here's the thing. Your comment on my video of me welding, I was wondering whether or not I was here's the thing. I know I was doing the wrong thing, but I was wondering if I was actually doing the right thing for my application. So I think I explained it on the comment, but I'll ask you here since you're here. I am using a Harbor Freight welder. It probably should be welding like 1/8 inch metal. I don't even know what it goes up to, but we're talking about a $100 welder here. Because of that, whenever I'm welding like thick steel, it's just not the machine for the job. And if I actually needed it to be, I would not use it. I would just get a buddy to weld it. But I just like to tack stuff together and use it around the house. Now, with that said, the reason I did it the way I did it, where I was like leaning with a heavy lean, I can't remember, I think it was down, was I was really trying to penetrate that thicker piece of steel on the base plate more. I mean, obviously that means that the penetration on the other piece of metal was not as good, but the other piece of metal was thinner. So if you were welding, well, I shouldn't say if you because you're a pro, but if somebody else were welding, the reason I did that with my angle not being kind of like at a nice 45 and just hitting both, just hitting both all the way down, was because I was really trying to get some attachment to that base plate that was really thick. Does that make sense? If you're still here, can't even remember where I started with that. Nevertheless, don't pay me to weld anything. That's the moral of the story. Eight feet long. What are we here? Probably. Yeah, we got about a half a face cord done. Not too shabby when you're just sitting here blabbing with the homies. I would carry a lot more in each hand, but I got this. I'm right-handed, which means I load with my right hand and carry with my left hand. And as luck would have it, Carhartt puts the breast pocket on the left side of the shirt. So right under all this wood is where I keep my mic. So I can't carry too much. Can't, damage the high quality media items here. Joking if you couldn't tell. All right, we must have lost Rob. Either that or he just does not agree with how I welded, which was probably the most accurate statement since it was a garbage weld. Rob, do you know what wood is in your driveway? Because I saw some elm out there. We're going to get Rob up to snuff on tree ID. What time is it? 42 after. We got about 8 minutes. With less powerful welders, stacking multiple beads is the ticket. I'm going to do a video on it soon. Well, there you have it. I did it the wrong way. We would have never guessed it. Maple, elm, and black walnut. Boy, what a triple threat. You love to see it. Stacking welds. All right. You're going to make me go to Google. Hey, Google. Please teach me how to stack welds. Explain like I'm 5. What kind of maple you got, Rob? Any idea? Soft, hard, silver, red, sugar, Norway, box elder. I'll see myself out. I swear I'm fun at parties. Well, at least the rooster shut up. We got that going for us. I've always done live on YouTube. I've never really done it on Facebook, but I wonder if Facebook Live would actually be of any benefit. I don't really know what the benefit would be, but silver maple, baby. Rob nailed it. I have some gum you can come split, Britt. I'll tell you what, Nate, if you can get that stuff on a truck, we'll split it over here for sure. If it's logs, throw it on a dump truck, bring it on to the house, man. We'll have that. We'll split it right back into the truck, lickety split. The past week, we've sold 50% of our inventory, 7 cord. Got about 7 or 8 left. That's awesome, man. Here's the thing. I have not seen a video pop up on your wood channel, Fecto. What's up with that? Are you making videos, or is YouTube shadow banning here? Because I've had, yeah.
Are you coming? We're late.
Oh, guess we're late. All right, gang, we're gonna hang it up. We're not late. Anyway, she says we're late, so that means we are. I'm gonna get off here. One last stack. He shoots. He scores.